What if I told you that one of nature's most infamous defenses is not just a chaotic blast, but a precision-guided weapon, capable of hitting a target with near-perfect accuracy from over 7 feet away? Picture this. You're walking through a quiet meadow at dusk. A rustle in the grass, you freeze, so does a small black and white creature. It stamps its feet, it raises its tail, you know what comes next. But what you might not know is that in that moment, the skunk isn't just letting loose a cloud of stench, it's aiming, and it rarely misses. For an animal often dismissed as just a walking stink bomb, the skunk possesses one of the most sophisticated and accurate defensive systems in the entire animal kingdom. This isn't a random spray. It's a calculated, high-pressure stream, and its 7-foot range is just the beginning of the story. So how did this unassuming animal evolve such a precise and potent weapon? To understand that, we need to look at what the skunk is really up against. Life isn't easy when you're a slow-moving, ground-dwelling forager. Skunks aren't built for speed. They can't climb trees like a squirrel to escape. They aren't ferocious fighters like a badger. For millions of years, they were on the menu for almost every large predator in North America. They needed a game changer, an equalizer. And evolution provided one so effective that it fundamentally changed the rules of engagement. The skunk spray had to be so reliable, so undeniable, that it could stop a predator in its tracks without a physical fight. It had to be a deterrent so powerful that its very reputation would precede it. And that's where accuracy becomes everything. A miss isn't just an inconvenience. For a skunk, a miss could be a death sentence. Let's dive into the mechanics of this remarkable system. It all starts with a pair of glands located on either side of the skunk's anus. Inside these glands, a cocktail of sulfur-based chemicals called thiols is produced and stored. This is the source of the infamous odor, a smell so potent it can be detected by the human nose at concentrations of just 10 parts per billion. But producing the stink is only half the battle. Delivering it is the other. The skunk has specialized muscles surrounding these glands that allow it to control the release with surprising finesse. It can fire a long, targeted stream or a short, mist-like spray, depending on the threat. And it can do this while standing on its front paws, its body forming a perfect U-shape, allowing it to aim in almost any direction. Now, let's talk about that 7-foot mark. This isn't an arbitrary distance. This is the effective range where the skunk can maintain a tight, concentrated stream. The propulsion comes from those powerful muscles forcibly ejecting the oily liquid. It's less like a sprinkler and more like a water pistol being fired with immense pressure. This oily nature is crucial. It ensures the liquid doesn't just dissipate into the air but sticks to its target, making the scent incredibly difficult to remove. But how does it aim so well? The skunk's accuracy is a product of both anatomy and instinct. It uses its excellent sense of smell and sight to lock onto the face of its attacker, specifically the eyes. Hitting the eyes causes temporary blindness and intense pain, disorienting the predator and giving the skunk precious seconds to waddle away. It's a deliberate, targeted attack on the most sensitive parts of its enemy. And here's the most fascinating part: the skunk is conservative. It only has enough fluid for about 5 or 6 full-power sprays, and it takes over a week to replenish its supply. It can't afford to waste a single shot. This resource limitation is what honed its accuracy over millennia. Every shot must count. Before it even sprays, it goes through a series of unmistakable warnings, stamping, hissing, raising its tail, a final chance for the predator to back down. It's not an aggressive animal, it's a pragmatic one. It would much rather you just leave than have to use its precious, limited ammunition. This entire system, from the chemical production to the muscular control and the behavioral warnings, is a masterclass in non-violent conflict resolution in the wild. The result of this evolutionary arms race is a creature that lives with a unique kind of confidence. Most animals live in constant fear. The skunk, armed with its perfect spray, simply does not. It ambles through the night, its bold black and white coloration acting as a universal warning sign. This pattern, known as aposematism, is nature's way of saying, "Don't even try it." And predators have learned. The mere sight of those two white stripes is often enough to make a coyote or a bobcat think twice. The spray's reputation does most of the work before a single drop is fired. This has allowed the skunk to occupy a unique niche. It forages openly, digs for grubs, and raises its young with a level of security that other animals its size can only dream of. Its greatest weapon has become its greatest shield, creating a bubble of safety that extends roughly 7 feet in every direction. It's a powerful lesson in nature. Sometimes, the best defense isn't about being the strongest or the fastest, but about having a tool so effective that you rarely ever have to use it. The skunk world is defined by that invisible boundary, a perimeter of peace enforced by the mere threat of chemical warfare. So the next time you catch a whiff of that unmistakable scent on the night air, or see those distinctive stripes in your headlights, remember that you're not just looking at a stinky animal. You're witnessing a survival strategist, an evolutionary success story that traded brute force for brilliant precision. It's a reminder that in the wild, accuracy can be just as powerful as strength, and that sometimes the most potent power is the power of a well-deserved reputation. What other animal defense mechanism blows your mind? Is there a creature you think has an even more incredible survival trick? Let me know in the comments, and your pick could be the focus of our next deep dive.